I've been training in East Coast as part of affiliation for about 3 years, I think now. But I've been living in Dublin for 1 year training at headquarters. So I moved to Dublin last year after winning Worlds as a brown belt. And and I decided to go full time and train with Dara for my first year at black belt. I'm aware I'm not from a giant gym, but the level is really high here. It's one of the best gyms in Europe, if not the best gym in Europe, in my opinion. I have a really good coach in Dara, and my training partners are really supportive and push me really hard in training. I mainly train with guys, but they all go hard on me and push me to get better. And now we've got a lot of females, quite a few purple belts that I can train with too, and other girls coming through, so that's obviously really beneficial for me. Like all the guys do really well in competition. Maybe it's not quite where we could be just yet, but it's definitely getting there in the years to come. When I got to fight Jazari, it was obviously amazing, and to win was even cooler, obviously. The whole experience was mad. I knew I could do it, like obviously I'm not going to be shouting about it, but I did believe in myself, and I did think that I could win, but at the same time I knew that she was super dangerous. So when I actually got the win, it was a really happy experience, obviously, and it gave me a lot of confidence too for fights to come.
Elbow onto the floor, okay, and then I open out my elbow here and just literally hold.
I fought Talita before on EBI. It was like the first female card, and somehow I was there. There was like a last minute pullout, and I ended up getting invited. At the time I was a purple belt and extremely nervous, and obviously Talita was already a black belt world champion at that time, I think. So I fought her first round. It was going okay, but then she won the match. She submitted me, in fact. So it's about 2 years later now. Yeah, I think it's 2 years later. So it'll be really cool for me to see my improvement from then. I think even for myself, if I've beaten someone 6 months ago, like if I fight them again six months later, they could be a lot different. There's a lot of improvement that can happen in that time, and the same as in 2 years. So I expect her to have a different game now, and vice versa for myself. So it'd be really interesting to see where I level up against her now.
I train with Ffion here in FABIN ROSA here in Orlando, and I'm originally from a city called Maranhão, and the original place that I'm from is called Carutapera. Back and forth, I think about 5 years now, but in Orlando I am about 2 months. So I usually take all my like hard moments in life, my stage, and I make a good motivation, because you have 2 jobs. Or you get frustrated and you put your head and you get a motivator, or you make that in a good energy so you can keep going, So I did that because I did have a hard time, and I was about to give up. Like I was like, every little stage in life, hard stage, you're gonna always face yourself, and at some point that you're gonna ask yourself, should I keep going? It's worth it, and you ask yourself, you had your mind testing you, you know what I mean? So I just let it go and just like make that in a good feeling, to get it, focus on my fights, and I know I'm a good person, and whatever happened is for learning, so. First of all, they offered the match to fight Ffion when she was a brown belt, and I did see like a kind of interest for, and because many other stuff too. By the time I was like, no, it's not worth it for me. And then it was a different game when she fought Jitsu. She got her black belt. She got a really like good 2 years, brown to black belt. She won most of the big tournaments, but not all. And she's a really good competitor on her feet and her guard. So I was like, oh, now we can fight, because she's a black belt. I've been being a black belt for 3 years. I'm gonna soon go to my 4th year, you know what I mean? And now I think it's worth it. So I text the guys, it's like, now I wanna fight her because besides all that, she challenged me, you know. She was very respectful and everything. She's a sweet girl, very pretty girl, very nice. She's always smile, you know. So like, why not? It's a challenge, you know. Like I want to test my wrestling against her judo, and see what we're capable. You know what I mean? I did, and I know it will be a crazy fight, and we're in a main event, you know, like first time main event. So I think we'll be pretty crazy.
I catch him, made him not able to go all the way across.
I'm so unorthodox and so weird that no one can really put up with me, you know what I mean? And I can't say anything else apart from I think I'm going to win by submission, you know what I mean? Because I can't see it any other way. I just do focus on me, do what I do when it comes to like getting ready for something. Obviously we look at things what the person constantly does and stuff to reverse on that and make sure you don't get caught in it, but you mainly focus on yourself and what you need to do. No point in focusing on someone else, is there?
I'm Paul Rimmer, I'm the head coach at Next Generation in Liverpool, a 2nd degree black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. He's been training with me since he was 14, 15. He's grown up in the gym. He was one of my first 2 black belts, first 3 black belts, him, Chris and Rosie Sexton. He's got an absolutely, probably the most exciting jiu-jitsu style that you could have. He's very fast, flexible, technical, well-rounded. He's super aggressive with his jiu-jitsu. So I'm expecting like a good match.
Well, I know he's like I said, he's a top fighter, you know what I mean? You don't really see much of his grappling when he gets in the cage, though he likes to strike, you know what I mean? And obviously this is why he does grappling tournaments as well, to keep his grappling up to scratch and get better, you know what I mean? We're both coming off losses, we both want to get back in there and get competing again, and that's what we're both doing, you know what I mean? It's, like I said before, no bad blood, no nothing like that. Go for a pint after it with each other, shake each other's hand and that. It's just a friend, you know? Like, no disrespect to Stevie, but the calibre of guys in here are just better than the calibre of guys that, it's no disrespect, that he trains with, you know what I mean? Because, like you're saying, there's me, Fishy, Matty, Chris Walsh, Ben, Ellis, Fensley, you know what I mean? Aaron Jordan. That's 8 brown and black belts right there, you know what I mean? All high level, all compete all the time, whether it's MMA or whether it's super fights. And I just rolling with these in here, doing 10-15 minute rounds in here with these. I just can't see anyone from another gym tapping me, you know what I mean? Unless they are from Henzo's. Everyone knows what they're good at, but I'm no snitch. I'm not giving nothing away. Yeah, they'll catch something, whatever they feel like on the day.
It is definitely different. Obviously you have the ADCC, the rule set, I think is the best rule set just because, in terms of like, to decide the grab, because you get the submission only and you get the points as well, so you like cater for both pies. In adjusting for like a submission only super match, yeah, you have to change up a bit. Like there's certainly things that I would let go in a super fight setting that I wouldn't let go in an ADCC. I'd scramble like hell to avoid a takedown in ADCC, but maybe I could focus more on catching something on the way down if I get taken down, which I imagine I probably will in this match, but that's fine. So yeah, that's how it changes for me. Also, you've got the time, slightly longer match, 15 minutes instead of the 10 minutes. But as I say, that stuff's irrelevant to me. I don't really care. Like I'm coming out to try and submit the guy. I'm not going to try. I'm not too fussed on winning any kind of decision or anything like that. I'm just going to throw any submission I can at him, and hopefully something will stick.
Nice and quick, guys.
So I went and left. Went to go to San Diego. I was living there on and off for like sort of 3 months at a time, visa permitting. Training at Atos with Galvao and Keenan and those guys. I love training there. Level's so high. I learnt a lot. But with visa restrictions and everything, I ended up here in Vancouver, in Canada. I love it here. I split my time between here at Roll Academy on the North Shore with Philippe Matos and Lions MMA, which is downtown Vancouver, with my my training partners. My main training partner down there is a guy called Mike Crisp, who's an exciting guy, one to watch out for sure. Yeah, so no, I've never been happier than being here in Vancouver. I love it.
Tag Polaris in it. Tag Ben in it. Hey?